What's up, guys? 2 Banks of 5 here with a podcast. There's no football news as of yet, but I've got someone here, my younger brother. He's a big Star Wars fan, just like me. And we wanted to talk to you about Star Wars. So, what should I call you in this pod? What's your name?
Darth Rhyme.
Darth Rhyme. That's fucking gay. We'll call you Darth Butthole. Okay, so we saw the movie last night. When we came out, we sort of agreed it was a decent movie. You thought it was the best movie of all time. But pondering back on that movie, how do you feel? What's your thoughts now? Actually, no, we'll go back to that. What were your thoughts when you came out of the movie?
That it was a great movie, and, well, by a lot of people's reactions, the movie was outstanding with what they did. And I still think that.
You still think that? Okay, so I had a different view, but we're going to talk spoilers, so for the maybe 5 people who will eventually ever see this, be warned, spoilers are coming. We just thought we'd give you a different view, you know? I know this is usually a football podcast, but you can all suck it up, alright? Because I want to talk about this. Look at my cats, they're fucking crazy. So basically, from the opening crawl, it was pretty clear what the movie was. It's clear that they didn't want to even look at The Last Jedi at all. Do you agree with that? Do you think they wanted to go past The Last Jedi and move on?
Yes. Because of the 2 directors, mainly.
So you think the vision from JJ, when he wrote the first one, in his vision, it had nothing to do with The Last Jedi?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
all you got. Correct? Nice banter. Good banter there. Yeah, I think it's so clear that there's so many different directions, and that comes down probably to Kathleen Kennedy. You know, when they build a new, what's it called? What's 3 movies called? Trilogy. When they build a new trilogy, have a through line. Like Kevin Feige, he's made Marvel so brilliant. The ending was so satisfying, and I was just really unhappy. So, in the first 5 minutes, were you excited to see Palpatine? Newsflash, Palpatine's back.
For some reason, I liked seeing him back because you knew he was coming back. The only thing I didn't like about it was that they've shown nothing about him throughout the whole trilogy, as what they've done in the past trilogies. Past 2, with the prequels and the originals. They've always shown him.
And then also, pretty much, if you're watching this, Snoke's a nobody. All the voices in Kylo Ren's head came from the man himself, Palpatine, Darth Sidious, which I think is the biggest cop-out ever. I hate that shit. You do a whole movie, you do all these movies, and then at the end you go, well, guess what? It wasn't him, it was the other guy behind it all. It's just lazy writing. And I think J.J. Abrams and the Star Wars team, they could have thought of a better way to bring Palpatine back. So you like the movie pretty much. Even after seeing some reviews, you still like it.
Yeah.
What's the main flaw for you in the movie?
Well, the main flaw possibly just would be the way that they've chucked it all together. Because as I've seen more reviews about it, they sort of had a lot of things to do in it. They would go from planet to planet. So altogether there was around 7 planets they went from. And all of them were passed over. They didn't focus on one thing at all. They kept moving on.
It was like, you could say, maybe... It was just like 50 short films into one, you could say, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, 50. So a lot of jumping. But the biggest thing was how many MacGuffins were in this movie.
How many times they had to find something.
They had to find someone to find something, to find that, to find this. The part of the movie that I laughed at a lot was when Chewie was dead. And about 30 seconds later, Rey goes, I sense him. He's alive. That's rubbish writing as well, let's be honest.
Well, back with that,
Yeah.
I also watched another thing, and the amount of cop-outs they had. They had... Who'd they have? They had Chewie, who apparently died, but he was still alive. They had... Who was it? Well, Palpatine. Palpatine, they've said he was dead. C-3PO, they thought he was dead at one point, but then he ended up came back with R2's memory wipe. Well, R2's memory. Zori Bliss, whatever her name was. Poe Dameron's... whatever he was to her. She was apparently dead with the thingo. And they were also alive. They had a lot of cop-outs, and they kept doing the same thing over and over again. The only person that stayed dead was Hux. And then at the end, Kylo and Palpatine. And Leia.
Yeah. Well, they're so annoying, those cats. But I love them. Yeah. The biggest cop-out for me, or the biggest shit moment, was Leia, about to die, decides, you know what, I'm going to speak to my son and... what's it called? Turn him back to the good side, basically. She's had so long to do that. Why has she waited so long to do that?
Because that was her last life force. She died right after.
Well, she would have had more life force if she did it before, wouldn't she? And on top of that, it was very clear that they were using old footage of Carrie Fisher, and they definitely did do a bit of other stuff, a bit of computer animation.
They did what they could.
They did what they could. It was pretty hard. You know, I was hoping, I was praying in the pre-crawl they didn't say that Leia had died. That would have been a bigger cop-out and a sad way to see her go off screen. But it was clear they were running off old footage. And I think they done the best they could, but it was very clear. The setting was very similar to in The Force Awakens when they're on that grass planet. So it's pretty clear, but, you know, they did the best they could with that. What did you think of Kylo Ren's relationship with...
Okay, that was weird.
Rey. Reylo.
I've agreed, that was weird.
There was a connection in the movies, but...
It was more of a sibling relationship, best friend, and then it's just turned into a love thing for a second before he dies. Spoilers, he dies. Which... Again, I'm not happy about. They could have had more redemption towards him, but oh well, he's dead. It's all done. Please don't bring another Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, even the thing that helped his redemption was his dad, Han Solo, coming back.
That was great.
That was actually very good. Also, they could have done better with that, though. I think, obviously, Han isn't a Force ghost or anything like that. But they should have fleshed out that Kylo was being redeemed a lot earlier, because I felt like it was just Kylo's really bad. Click. That was a flick of my fingers there.
Well, they sort of pushed it towards the whole thing, though. At the first one, you knew he was, like, partially, I don't want to be here, I don't think I'm bad. The second one was more of him trying to prove that he was bad, but then he couldn't kill Leia, and then he couldn't kill Rey. And then when it came to the last bit with Luke, he tried, but Luke was already dead. And then in this one, they sort of showed that he was turning good. He could see the light in Rey. He couldn't change her. And then when he found out Rey's relationship to Palpatine, it was more of a, yeah, we need to stick together. We need to get rid of this.
Yeah, true. I get what you're saying there. What about... Now, that's really pissed me off, okay? So, at the start of the movie, we find this MacGuffin, this box, this Sith, what's it called?
Sith something.
Sith finder for the planet. What's the planet called? Exegol. Okay, so that's where Palpatine is. Alright, he's been there the whole time. This guy who has no legs and his hands are fucked up and he's just done for. And for some reason, he's built how many Star Destroyers?
Oh, you could have said thousands.
Like thousands of Star Destroyers on a planet that doesn't look like it has much resources. And on top of that, he has all these men working for him who are all the exact same person, apparently.
10,000.
10,000.
10,000 people, they confirmed in... How many Star Destroyers? I don't even remember.
A fuck ton of Star Destroyers, which... How long did the Death Star take to make?
Like...
A long time.
More than 30 years. They were constructing it at the Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, they're building this Death Star thing.
28 years.
But for some reason, it only takes a absolutely stuffed up Palpatine and 10,000 hands to build, like, how many Star Destroyers? Did you look it up?
Yeah,
It doesn't
trying
say?
to, nah.
It doesn't say? A lot. A lot. So I'm guessing, how big do you reckon a Star Destroyer is compared to the Death Star? You reckon maybe 3 or 4 Star Destroyers are as big as the Death Star?
Yeah. Well, the Death Star was pretty small. The original Death Star was small. It was a quarter of planet size.
Yeah.
And then the next one was around a third. And then Starkiller Base was, I'd say, around 5/6 of Earth size.
Yeah. So, and they all took a lot of time. And they obviously had so many people from the Imperial forces working for them, building that.
How many bad guys exist?
Yeah, legitimately, so many bad guys. And that took them 30 years, but apparently 10,000 dweebs in capes and one bloke who literally is being held up by a big puppet thing. They can do 10 to 50 Star Destroyers in 30 years. So, I don't know, that's how it works, I guess. Any standout moments for you that say, well, for me, I didn't enjoy the movie, but you did. What were the standout moments for you?
Well, there was many. Like, I really liked it when not exactly a moment, but when the main 6 characters all went on journeys. That was pretty good. When Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca fly in with the 1,000 just people, saving all the rebels and Rey and everyone. That was a great moment. At the end, when Luke and Leia come back as ghosts towards Rey, and then that's when she has a yellow lightsaber, that was awesome. And back with Luke when he was a ghost, and, well, first of all, you could tell the feud between J.J. Abrams, as in, if you've seen The Last Jedi, Luke throws the lightsaber away, and then in this one, he catches the lightsaber and says, "Don't be throwing those around."
Yeah, so...
Basically hating on the other director.
So, Blake... Oh, I just said your name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Darth Butthole here. So, at the end of Force Awakens, as we remember, Rey hands Luke back. Can you stop it, Katz? Jesus Christ. Luke receives the lightsaber from Rey, stares off. It's a bit...
He doesn't receive it till the next one, so...
Oh, she holds it out for
Yes.
him. Yeah, that's right. And you think... And Mr. Skywalker gives her a big stare there. And then at the start of the next movie, The Last Jedi, Luke gets given the lightsaber and simply just throws it into the water. So Rian Johnson basically did a big fuck you there.
Right.
So in this one, J.J. Abrams, he directed this movie.
Well, Rian Johnson screwed up a lot of things, though. Like, he basically just said F you to the lightsabers, F you to everything. All he wanted was the Force. And then they even brought back Yoda, and that was still... He just wanted to chuck things out. Like,
Yeah. So obviously, Luke throws away the lightsaber in the second one. In the third one, Rey is about to give up. She goes back to the planet she met Luke on, throws the lightsaber into the old Jedi temple, is it?
Yeah.
The
burning Jedi.
The burning Jedi temple. And then Luke catches it as a Force ghost.
Now, back on that, we've never known how powerful Force ghosts can be, because we've never seen their full extent, because back when Yoda first learnt of it, it was by Qui-Gon Jinn, who never fully did it, fully found out how to do a Force ghost, so all you hear him is in projections, like in the TV series. So, basically, we've never seen how Force ghosts work, and showing Luke catching a physical object and moving physical objects like the X-Wing is just, that was all, I don't know, they just pushed it out there. They've never explained it.
Yeah.
And that was bad writing.
So, you're a nerd. You're a big old nerd. Alright, I'm going to close this now because this nerd needs to go to bed. I agree with him on some levels about there is good moments in this movie. And I think the moments in this movie would feel more satisfying if the writing was better. I definitely think it was a hodgepodge work, pretty much. If JJ did the whole saga, the 3 films, that first 45 minutes, I believe, is its own film. And
They should have had 2 parts.
yeah, and I think we spend most of that film looking for Palpatine, or looking, we'll say Snoke. They're looking for Snoke, and then obviously they find Palpatine, and then the next movie is basically the end of the 3rd movie. So unfortunately, not a lot of people are happy about this movie, but that's the way it is. Movies are movies, and there's nothing we can do about it, I guess. On to the next sequel, prequel, whatever.
Whatever the hell's coming.
Yeah. To be honest, I would like a break from Star Wars. I think they should just stick with the TV shows.
But not forever.
Not forever.
We want to see it again.
I think I'm pretty disagreeable with my brother here. I think it's time to put it down and build new things. Honestly, we're so focused on going back to old stuff because it builds nostalgia. It's great to watch, but I think we need some more original ideas. And that's actually why I've been enjoying some more original movies lately. Just one-time movies. Because in the end of the day, he's disagreeing with me. He doesn't like it.
I like movies that have more than just one movie. That's why I like Star Wars, the MCU, Harry Potter. Anything that has a big story that doesn't just end within 1 2-hour movie. I like more than that.
Yeah, because he's a nerd. Because the thing with... I'm nearly done, but the thing with all these sagas and these big movies is you spend a year waiting for the next one, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's like a big extended TV series, and all these nerds here do, is spend time reading reviews, watching YouTube videos on it, like I used to do, and of course, what's that going to do? It's going to build expectations, and you're probably going to be let down. The only movie, I think, the only company that's done a saga really well was the MCU. Avengers Endgame aimed perfectly, and I think Star Wars, as they're a Disney property, should have done a lot better. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Do you have anything to say before we go?
May the Force be with us.
Shut up, Darth Butthole. Okay, guys, please remember to like, subscribe. Go to my Instagram account at... 2_Banks_of_5. That will be a one-stop shop for all the pods. Look, if you're looking for some more football stuff, I will be doing a review later in about 5 or 6 hours when we get the results of the World Club Cup. And obviously the big one, Leicester City versus Manchester City. It's a big day for the title race, and it's a big day for Liverpool Football Club. I'll see you guys later. Good night, good morning, wherever you are. Ciao.